Hello everybody, it's Sara. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming at you with the end of the year book tag. This is my first video filming in front of my new bookshelves. If you missed my bookshelves transformation video, definitely do check it out. I will leave it linked up here if you haven't seen it already. It is definitely one of my favorite videos on my channel. I am so proud of it, so please go watch it. I am, as always, very excited to do this tag today. This is basically about your end of the year goals, what you want to accomplish before the end of the year in terms of reading. This tag was created by Ariel Bissett, so I will leave the original video down below in the description box if you want to go and check it out. But yeah, without any further ado, let's jump into the first prompt, shall we? The first prompt of this tag is, are there any books that you started this year that you need to finish? And I feel like every year my answer is the same, and it's a very boring answer, and it is just basically no. I almost never DNF books, and if I do, I don't tend to go back and finish them. So the only book that I can talk about right now is basically the book that I'm currently reading, or should I say rereading, because this book is The Anthropocene reviewed by John Green. It doesn't have the dust jacket on right now because I'm currently reading it. As you may know, this is my favorite book of the year so far. I don't think that anything else will top it, and I decided on a whim a few days ago to just restart the audiobook because it's just so good and it brings me so much comfort. And I've been into such a big rereading mood lately, and already this one was deserving a reread because, like I said, it is one of my favorite book of the year. It is so good and I just love it so much. And I decided actually this time around to annotate my copy, so I've been like writing in it and stuff like that. I don't know if you can see that. I've just been underlining all of my favorite quotes like crazy. So yeah, this is the book that I'm currently reading. This is the one that I need to finish before the end of the year, but I already know that I will because, like I said a million times already, so good, so great. You have to read it. If you still haven't check this out, please do. Then the next question is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? Right now I feel like we're kind of into this weird transitional period in Canada in between like autumn and winter. Like there are no more leaves anywhere, and it's starting to get cold, but we still don't have any snow. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's a weird time of the year. Not a really great time of the year, to be honest. I don't really like it. It gets dark super fast outside during the day, and that really sucks. But all of this to say, I feel like we've definitely left fall behind, so maybe I'm a little bit late into filming this tag. But anyway, I recently reread another favorite, and that book is If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, and I feel like this definitely fits this time of the year, not only fall but also this weird November period where everything is just gray. And I'm sure you know about this book. This is a dark academia novel that follows this bunch of Shakespeare students at this very prestigious conservatory, and there's murder and they're all very pretentious, and it's very beautiful and lyrical and so great. And yeah, I recently reread this one. It is so good, such a good fall kind of like beginning of winter book. But yeah, since I've already read this one, let's talk about a different book. Another one that I haven't read yet that I feel would be kind of perfect for this time of the year as well is Down Comes the Night by Alison Saft. I've talked about this book in many of my videos this year because it has been on a couple of TBRs, I think. I took this one out of the library a couple of months ago, had to return it, took it out again, and I still haven't read it, and so this definitely needs to happen. But this is basically a YA fantasy about these two characters who are stuck into a manor together, and they're enemies, but they have to survive this house because it's very weird and I think enchanted. And I don't know too much more about this one because I kind of want to go into it blind, but I'm very, very curious about it. Ever since I saw this one at Indigo in the time where I used to work there, I've been meaning to read it because this cover is stunning and the premise sounds great. So yeah, that's another transitional book. I feel like it definitely sounds dark and eerie and spooky and great. So that's another one that I would love to read before the end of the year. Honestly, I need to read it and then bring it back to the library because otherwise they're going to start to wonder, like, what do I do with these books? If not, read them. Anyway, moving on. Prompt number 3 is there a new release that you're still waiting for? And I personally have two, and one of them is really making me sad because the book is already out, but my copy still hasn't arrived, and that is the worst feeling. And that book is Seasparrow by Kristen Cashore. Once again, I have mentioned this book a couple of times recently because it is my most anticipated book of the year. It came out at the beginning of November, and it is basically the 5th book into the Graceling series, which is a YA fantasy series that I am obsessed with. I love it so much. And this book, I'm just so excited to finally read it, and I ordered my copy from the UK because I wanted this beautiful UK cover, but it still hasn't arrived. So I'm desperately waiting for it, really hoping that it didn't get lost in the mail or that no one stole it from me from my front porch or something like that, because that would be such a tragedy. And I don't really want to give you a synopsis because I feel like it would give away most of the rest of the series, since this is the 5th book, but this series is just so good. Please read it. It has great feminist themes, great female main characters. All of it is just so well done. It has adventure and romance and world building, and yeah, it's just absolutely incredible. So can't wait for this one. Really hope that I get it soon. And then the second book is the, I think, 18th book into the Amalgamage series by Louise Penny. I think it is called World of Curiosity. I don't exactly remember the title, but this one also comes out in November. It comes out at the end of the month, and I'm just so excited to be once again reunited with all of these characters that I really love. And every single time I crack open a new Louise Penny, I just get so sucked into the book, and I just can't wait to solve another mystery, yet another murder with my favorite characters. So yeah, that sounded really weird, but you know what I mean. If you read mystery books, you know the deal. But yeah, very excited about this one. The cover is also really great, so that's a plus. But yeah, these are the 2 releases that I am currently still waiting for. Can't wait to read them. The next prompt is, what are 3 books that you want to read before the end of the year? And everyone, this is a very exciting question, and this is a very exciting announcement, because the first book that I want to talk about is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. And I know, before anyone screams at me, I know that I've said this a million times. I know that I've said so many times that I want to read this book. But I promise this is the next book that I'm going to pick up. If you're watching this video and this is not my currently reading book on Goodreads, you have full permission to come and scream at me. But I recently finished another very big fantasy book, and it kind of like reignited my love for chunky boys. So I am ready. I'm finally ready. It is finally happening. Literally, I'm going to start this book today after filming this video, and I could not be more excited. I am elated. I can't wait. I definitely plan on reading at least the first part before the end of the year. I mean, I'm going to start it today. Like I said, it's happening. It's happening. I'm so excited. Can you tell? But yeah, I definitely feel like I'm gonna be able to read the first part, and then we'll see about the second part. But if I don't read the second part this year, it's going to be the first book that I pick up in 2023. And oh my gosh, I can't wait. I don't even know what this book is about, so I'm not even going to attempt to give you a synopsis. I just know that it's Brandon Sanderson, that it's high fantasy, that it has great characters, an incredible plot, and crazy world building, and I am all here for it. Finally, I can't wait. It's gonna be a blast. Whew, I feel like I need to calm down. But the second book is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This is another one that I got from the library recently, and I have heard great things about this romance book. I think it's basically about this girl who falls in love with a ghost, which sounds very intriguing. And yeah, I definitely can't wait to see how this is going to unfold, like what is going to happen. But apparently it has like swoon-worthy romance, great scenes, great banter between the characters, and I'm all here for that. And I feel like this could be like a great little book to read between the 2 Way of Kings parts, if you know what I mean. So yeah, this is definitely another one that I want to read before the end of the year. And then the third book that I am sure that I want to read before the end of the year is the Heartstopper yearbook, which also hasn't come out in Canada yet. It was supposed to come out in the beginning of November, but it was pushed back, I think. And so yeah, I'm still waiting for this one, and I know that this one is not going to take me too long. It's basically this book with little extra content from the Heartstopper graphic novel series, but I'm so excited to read it. I think it's gonna be so cute, and it's always, I mean, I always love anything about Heartstopper. I will always read it and be so happy about it. So I know that this one is going to be great, and I can't wait to finally have it in my hands and look at all of the beautiful illustrations and read all of the little extra comics. It's gonna be so much fun. Then the next prompt is there a book that could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? And like I said, so far my favorite book of this year is The Anthropocene Reviewed. I don't think that anything will top that. Honestly, as you could tell from the rest of this video, there are a lot of books that I am so excited to read before the year is over, and I'm pretty sure they're going to become favorites. Like Seasparrow is definitely going to become a favorite because I love everything that Kristen Cashel writes. The Way of Kings, probably going to be a favorite if it lives up to the hype that I have for it in my head. But yeah, I don't think that anything will make me feel as many emotions as the Anthropocene review did, because boy oh boy, this book is a lot. And honestly, my reading year has been so weird that I kind of don't want to predict anything because I don't want to set myself up for disappointment, which sounds so sad. I promise I'm fine. Things are finally looking up. It only took 11 months out of 12, but we are getting there. But yeah, honestly, it would really surprise me if anything would top the Anthropocene reviewed. So yeah. And then finally, the last prompt of the video is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? I actually have a little bit. I'm still thinking about reading all of the books that are on my physical TBR. I definitely feel like this is going to be a challenge that I'm going to stick to. I'm also thinking about a kind of like book buying ban that I'm going to do. I talked about that into my last unhaul video if you want to go and check that out. But basically, I don't want to buy any books that aren't already like by authors that I really love, or books that I know I'm going to pick up immediately. So that's also kind of like a reading plan, more of like a book buying plan. Anyway, I have one very specific reading plan, and that is to reread The Priory of the Orange Tree before diving into A Day of Fallen Night, which is kind of like the prequel to this one that is coming out in January. So I'm definitely very excited for that as well. And then I don't know, I'll just set up my Goodreads reading challenge and see where it takes me. I don't really have any other particular plans beside these, but who knows? Maybe I'll come up with more before the end of the year, and if so, I will definitely make a video all about them. But here we are. This is it for the end of the year book tag. Definitely let me know what are your reading plans for the next year, or the books that you want to read before the end of this year, in the comments down below so we can discuss them. Also, if you want me to vlog my experience of reading The Way of Kings, definitely let me know about that too, because I've been like kind of on the fence about vlogging it, but we'll see how that goes. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!